principles. I'm going to use a PowerPoint. I strongly believe that power corrupts and PowerPoint corrupts absolutely. But since I want to show some graphs and some figures, PowerPoint is useful for this. So the objective of my talk is development cooperation, old challenge, and new responses. I'm going to talk a little bit about Busan, but I'm going to talk mainly about the context for international cooperation in the area of development and what are the new opportunities. I'm very happy to be here, very thankful to Actionaid and to the mayor of Naples and to La Universidade of Napoli for the invitation. I have to say it's a beautiful place, although I have also to say that I came from Paris trying to escape the cold. And on that front, I think we are on the same ground here. So let me start just giving the context. And this is something that you are all familiar with, the fact that we have had over the last 3 years the greatest economic crisis in the world economy since the Great Depression. And many economists entitle it the Great Recession. Now, there are some good news and some bad news. The good news is that we have a recovery ongoing, particularly in most emerging economies. Actually, one aspect that was very interesting in this crisis was the fact that developing countries were very resilient. They suffered much less in this crisis than in previous global crises. Why is that so? Several explanations. In part, because they were not as connected to the financial system as industrialized countries. And this crisis, of course, had as its epicenter the United States. But it's also true that part of the explanation is that developing countries were able to implement policies over the last 10 years or so that significantly improved their macroeconomic situation and their capacity to cope with crisis. So these are the good news. The bad news is that we are not out of the woods. Actually, some people tend to think about the Great Recession as the metaphor to think about it is what I call the Niagara Falls metaphor. If you ever visit Niagara Falls, you'll notice that the waters above and below Niagara Falls are very calm, but the transition is a beach. So, people think, well, we are over, we have the transition, and now we are going to enter calm waters. Unfortunately, the kind of recession that we have seen is one associated with adjustments in the financial sector and the process of deleveraging in the private sector, meaning the private sector took too much debt, and this type of recession typically goes on for a period of 5 to 7 years. So the bad news is that we still are not out of the woods. And the best example of this is what is happening right now in Europe. So if we ask what are the